Hi everyone, and welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf, and today we're going to work with a drill called L to L. So it gives us kind of a snapshot of what this lever system feels like and why we need levers and why we need, in association with that, to put your hands on the club the right way so the lever can happen. So the first thing I'd like to discuss is what these levers are and why we want levers in your swing. So when you look at the swing, the golf club is going to have a few pivots this way, okay? If it didn't have any pivots, you can see right away, now I'm just kind of dragging the club back and forth. The minute I add a lever, now the speed of the golf club goes up significantly. I don't want to feel like this head can only go as fast as this grip. You can see when you swing and you lever up, the club, when it pivots, it's going to go much faster than this grip. And so it pivots up, and then even on the way down. So on the way down, the weight in the golf club will unhinge. You'll hit the ball and it'll rehinge over here. And that's what we're going to talk about, this little move right here. So you can see how the golf club is going much faster and travels a lot more than this grip right here. I'm not dragging the handle here and dragging it through. There's a pivot. It hinges up, hinges down, and rehinges over here. So the drill we want to go over to help us with that is called the L to L, or L to reverse L, whatever you want to call it, where we lever the club up and then get the feeling of how the club, when it levers up, it becomes very light. So it becomes this kind of weightless tool back here in our swing. If it's heavy, then you know you've gone around too much. So it's a good indication of how you're levering, where the golf club should be in relationship to plane. So when you swing back and you lever, the club's going to go more up, or kind of between my arms. And so it's not going to go completely around me. So if I did this, the club is going to be out of balance. So if I hinge the club up between my arms, it has a very different feeling than if I let it sink below. See, now the club becomes very heavy. So again, we're going to lever up. And then on the way down, as I swing back down, see, the weight in the golf club can unhinge and get into the ball with very minimal effort. And I think that's what we're all looking for, is an easier way to play the game. And I think one of those ways is that if you play with a lot of effort, then you're not living up to your potential by far. So the first thing before we get into the levers, let's work with your grip first and make sure that your hands have to be on the club right to create this lever. So again, in the fingers. So I'm in the fingers and over. Okay, so what that does is create this lever. This is how the club is going to lever up, down, and then it'll rehinge over here. So it's in the fingers and over. And then my right hand goes right on the side. So now when I swing back, my hand almost sits like this, and it makes it very easy to lever. If I get the club in the palm of my hand, the club, my wrist is almost suffocated because it can't move. This wrist can't move when I get it in the palm. Now, it's good for some shots, putting, chipping, where you don't want this lever moving up and down, and even pitching, but not in the full swing, because that's where it's at its fastest. This is where your hand can move at its fastest, just like if I were to throw a ball. Okay? I wouldn't want anything to limit this motion in my hand. And that's what putting it in the palm does. So in the fingers and over, and then my right hand goes right on the side. Okay, so now all of a sudden I've got this lever. Okay, so once we get ready to go, what I want to do is feel how this club, I almost feel like this left hand is pushing down. Okay, so it creates this L, so this 90 degrees from my golf club to my arm. So again, that lever, feeling like it's going down, right, is creating this first L. Now when I swing back down, and the weight of the club, see, the handle kind of comes down more closer to my thigh. So the weight of the club is going to unhinge into the ball. Now I let the momentum go after that, and the club will re-lever over here. So I create that other L, or that reverse L. So that's why it's called L to L. Now again, your grip pressure should be so much so that the weight in the club, so in other words, when I'm working with the club, I can feel the weight in this golf club. I can make real big circles with pretty much ease. And what I feel when I'm doing this is I'm just guiding the momentum of the golf club. Okay, if my wrists were really tight, my arm, my shoulder socket, and I tried to do that, see, I wouldn't be able to make very big circles. Now as I get a little softer and I can feel the weight in the golf club, I don't have a lot of pressure in my arm and my shoulders, these circles become much bigger, and that's what you want to feel to be, you know, really successful at any part in this game, but especially this drill, the L to L, because once you're using those levers, once you lever the face up, you're just kind of guiding momentum, and gravity is really going to help you guide the rest. So again, from down the line, I get my grip here and I feel L. So as I swing back, I let the club go up and I feel how it's weightless, L. And then as I swing back down, I can start to feel as I swing down, the weight in the club is going to unhinge my wrists. I get to impact. And again, the weight of the club is going to form that other L over here. So again, from down the line, or now down from the other line, it's L down here. As my hands work back down, see, my hand works down and the face of the club works here. So the weight in the club unhinges and then it rehinges over here. So we'll start out with some little ones here. I get my grip and then I feel like I have this lever back here, L. And then as I swing down, the weight in the club unhinges the club and then it rehinges over here. So in your mind, you hinge, unhinge, rehinge. Do that a couple more times. You hinge, unhinge, rehinge. So go ahead and hit one. Again, we're not trying to hit this very far. We're just trying to get a feeling of how the golf club is pivoting and working through the strike. Okay, so again, once we get ready to go, we hinge, unhinge, rehinge. So again, I did very little. There was very little effort when I did that. And as I start to swing the golf club a little bit more with a little bit more speed, now my effort level doesn't go up, but the speed of the head will, because of the momentum of the club, will increase. So again, if I added a little speed and feel like I'm, again, 90 over here, hinge, unhinge, rehinge, hinge, unhinge, rehinge. You can see how there's all the speed is at the bottom of the swing. Hinge, unhinge. So you can see how the grip actually slows down and the weight in the club starts to increase, and the weight of the club starts to increase the speed of the club. If I were to get here and drag the handle, A, the face is open, and B, this golf club can't go any faster than this grip because the pivot doesn't exist. So again, hinge, unhinge, rehinge. So you're starting to feel, again, when you see it from down the line, once I do this, I'm starting to feel so that there's a lot of momentum in that golf club. There's not a ton of effort from me. The most effort is when I lever the club back, I hinge it, and then as I start to swing back down and change directions, it unhinges and rehinges, again, automatically with the softness of my arms and wrists. So again, another one, get ready to go. So I hinge, unhinge, rehinge. So as you can see, we'll add a little bit of speed. My effort level doesn't go up. So hinge, unhinge, rehinge. So you can see how much club there is and how much hinge there is over here, because I'm just letting the golf club go through the strike. So try these levers. Again, first make sure that your grip's right and start to feel how you can lever the face and it unhinges on its own and it rehinges over here. Okay, if you're struggling with that, watch your grip pressure, watch your arm pressure. Make sure that you're not dragging the handle, because again, you don't need a lot of shaft lean. Yes, there is a little shaft lean when you hit it, but if you have a lot or too much, or what's going to happen is the face is going to be behind and the club can't release. You're just slowing the face down when you do that. So try this out. I hope it helps and it gets you playing, some better golf at a less effort level than you're used to. Hi everyone, like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf, for all tips on golf. If you'd like a live lesson or want to send me a message, visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com.